Good morning. My name is Carrie Sherman. I'm a practitioner emeritus here at Creative Living Fellowship, and it is my honor and pleasure to be with you this morning so we can enjoy a moment of peace and reflection in meditation. So close your eyes if that feels comfortable to you, and if you are sitting, or maybe you're even going to try a standing meditation today, whatever is comfortable for you. Let's get into that space right here and right now. Just take a deep breath. Relax, let go. This is your time. You're honoring yourself by taking this time and effort to be still and listen to that small voice within that is always there, ever present, waiting to be called upon, waiting to be recognized, that space, that place that just knows the truth of who and whose you are, that perhaps brings enlightenment, empowerment, peace, and harmony. So knowing that all is well and you are safe in this place and in this space, let's rest and be. Just be. So let's start to come back gently, easily, gracefully. Maybe take a deep breath and stretch a little bit. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. Come back into this space, come back into this time. Hopefully refreshed, centered, peaceful, harmonious, inspired. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. And stick around, don't go anywhere. Our Sunday service is going to begin promptly at 10 a.m. Namaste.
Welcome to the Creative Living Fellowship online Sunday service. Please join us in our opening song, Use Me.
Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. I used to think God was the sun, God is the sun, but God's so much more than the earth or the stars or all of creation. God is creator, all in all, needing us to shine its light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. All that I'm saying is, command my hands. What must they do? Command my life. It's here for you. God is the love that heals all creation. God is creator, makes all things new, and God needs us to shine its light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. And God needs us to shine its light. God needs us to shine its light. God needs us to shine its light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do.
Good morning. My name is Carrie Sherman. I'm a licensed practitioner emeritus here at Creative Living Fellowship, and I am delighted to serve as your Sunday service host this morning. Whether you're joining us on Zoom or via Facebook Live or YouTube, it is my pleasure to welcome you here today. Creative Living Fellowship is an independent religious science church, and we honor all paths that lead to truth. Our deep intention here is to be a community of love, care, and connection that opens hearts, expands consciousness, and transforms lives. We do all of that through the principles and the practices of the science of mind. The science of mind is a new thought, ancient wisdom teaching. It provides us with the tools for living a most wonderful, best possible life. And we believe that there is one power in this universe, one presence, one life, one energy. It's everywhere present. And therefore, that is me and that is you. That is everything in this universe. And we are living this most exceptional, wonderful, beautiful life right here and right now. By doing that, we have another proposition in this philosophy, and that it is a mental or spiritual universe, and that things can be resolved into thoughts. So therefore, if you use right ideas correctly, you can and must produce right conditions in your experience. Our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, said, "Change your thinking, change your life." One of the spiritual practices we're employing right here and right now, whether you know it or not, is that practitioner Monica Zickus is holding a high watch for us this morning. And what this means is Monica is sitting in a meditative state, holding a space for the perfect unfoldment of this service. Monica, blessings, and thank you for your supporting us this morning in this way. Today, we welcome back our wonderful musical inspiration, Kirsten Plambeck. Practitioner and animal chaplain, Fran Peck, is going to bring us the opening prayer. That will be followed by the centering moment. And then Fran will be back after that to provide our inspirational reading of the day. Right now, Fran with our opening prayer.
Good morning. Let's turn within. Breathing into that awareness, that recognition that there is one life, one power, one divine energy in this universe. And that divine essence is love. It is peace. It is harmony and joy. And that life is my life. It lives, moves, and has its being in me. And I live, move, and have my being in it. That life is the givingness of life to itself, to all of its creation. And so knowing this truth, I speak my word of blessing for this service. I know it unfolds perfectly, divinely. I bless Reverend Dr. Sherry and her message, knowing that it is divinely inspired, divinely guided. I bless each and every person and their service to this community. And I know that Creative Living Fellowship is divinely blessed, as they are divinely blessings. I know that each receives that for which they have need. So in this knowing, I bless teachers of truth everywhere, and I send peace and love across this planet, knowing that we are all one, and we are all divine blessings and divine beings. And so in profound gratitude for this knowing, I simply release my word and allow it to be. And I say, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, life. Thank you, God. And so it is.
The breath of God is breathing me and resting
Our reading this morning is from the Science of Mind textbook, The Power of Thought, page 147. We set our own limitations. Do we desire to live in a world peopled with friends who love us, surrounded by things beautiful and pleasing? There is but one way, and this way is as certain as that the sun shines. Daily, we must control all thought that denies the real, affirm the divine presence within us. Then, as the mist disappears before the sun, so shall adversity melt before the shining radiance of our exalted thought. The prodigal son remained a prodigal as long as he chose to do so. When he chose to, he returned to his father's house and was greeted with outstretched hands. So shall our experience be when we return to the world which is perfect. There will be something that will turn to us. We shall behold a new heaven and a new earth, not in some far-off place, but here and now. Act as though I am and I will be. The Spirit of truth will lead us into all good. This is the high road to the fulfillment of our lives. There is then no limitation outside our own ignorance. And since we can all conceive of a greater good than we have so far experienced, we all have the ability to transcend previous experiences and rise triumphant above them.
Good morning, Creative Living Fellowship. My name is Kirsten Plambeck, and I'm really happy to be with you guys again. One little boy in Africa, he put a face on it, told his story to the world till he died. And these are the words he said. He said, do all you can with what you have, in the time you have, in the place you are, do all you this is what I came here for, she said. Do all you can with what you have, in the time you have, in the place you are. Do all you can. Do all you can. Change you want to see in this world. Now I understand what they wanted us to know. You can do all you can with what you have, in the time you have, in the place you are. Do all you can. Do all you can with what you have, in the time you have. Do one little boy in Africa, do all you can. Holy Mother from India, do all you can. Be the change you want to see in this world, do all you can.
Yes, yes, yes. Do all you can. Thank you so much, Kirsten Plambeck, favorite friend, for beautiful music this morning. We are happy to have you back with us. Good morning, everyone, and welcome, welcome, welcome to our online Sunday service. Let's take a deep breath together as we dive deeper into this month's theme. What am I doing here? 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 Or what am I doing here? Any way we approach it, the question is pregnant with possibilities. What am I doing here is what we're dealing with this month. Last week, we were talking about the far horizon. And that means that we are here looking at the far horizon out there. This week, my topic is here or there. Here or there. We are here. The horizon that we talked about last week was out there. And what we're going to be talking about this week is there. This place called there. There's a place called there. And each of us has a place called there. Each of us, there's a place called there for each one of us. And we have many theirs in our lives, many places called there in our lives. That place called there may be a physical place. It may be a place in consciousness. It may be an emotional place. It may be many, many different things, but each of us has a place called there, and God knows exactly what that place is for each one of us. And God is always directing us to that place. If we are not where we're supposed to be, then God will direct us to that place called there. Now, whether we follow that direction, whether we follow that guidance, or whether we follow our own agenda is a different story. But there's always that place called there for each one of us. And that place called there is where God's bounty is. That place called there is that place where our needs and God's provision meet. Where our needs and God's provision meet, that's where there is. When we're in our there, we're in our right place. We're in our right place. We're in the place where we're supposed to be. There is a distinct place. It is a definite place. It is a destination. And the important thing is for us to listen and be willing to go there, be willing to be there, be willing to live in there, be willing to know, even though we don't know where there is, even though we don't know why we have to go, even though we don't know what it means, even though we don't know how we're going to get there, all that stuff, all that human stuff that comes up for us, all those questions that arise. When we find that there's time for a change, and that's what there is about, it's about change, because otherwise we would stay here if we weren't having to move from where we are to the next place. But there are often times when we don't want to do that. We want to stay right, we're comfortable right where we are. Things are going really great right where we are. Things are going just the way we want them to go right where we are, but we get this little nudging, this little tap on the shoulder, this voice that's whispering to us that it's time to do something different, that it's time to move, that it's time to change something that's going on. And often, as I said, oftentimes we don't want to do that. Oftentimes we are feeling a bit resistant to it, and we just don't want to do that. That can be my default position. It's called resistance to change, where we don't want to do it. We don't want to go. I remember before moving here, we were living in California. My daughter and I shared a home in California, and she decided that she was going to move to Phoenix. And that was the last thing I was going to do. So I said, okay, you can move to Phoenix. I'm not going. I'm going to stay in California. So she moved. And of course, the next week after she got here, I was here to sit with my little grand dog, Sweet Pea. And I kind of liked where she lived in the area and all that, but my life was in California. I had a lot of friends there. I had my ministry there. I had clients there. My life had been there for many years. And so I wasn't considering moving here. But I found that over the next few months, not few months, it was just few weeks, I should say. I was back and forth to Phoenix a lot because she was traveling a lot and I needed to come here and be with Sweet Pea. So the more I came here, the more I recognized that some of the things that I thought I wanted, some of the things that I had been praying for, some of the things that I had been looking for, seemed to be here in Phoenix. But that wasn't where I was going to move because she was here. So of course I went back to California. And as I was there, I was constantly looking for a place to live. I had put all my things in storage and I was looking for the perfect place for me. And every time I came back here to Phoenix, the perfect place seemed to be in that area where she lived. And so finally, after a couple of months, I was here one week, and she suggested I look at an apartment here, and I did. Perfect. Everything I wanted was in that place. So I finally gave up my resistance and decided, okay, I'm going to move to Phoenix. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm leaving everything behind. All the things I've built over the years, I'm leaving that behind. But I'm going to move to Phoenix. And so I did. And initially it was a little disconcerting because things had changed, because I had given up, it seemed, so much to move here. But as soon as I got here, things just started to fall into place. The place that I wanted to live, the place that I was going to live, the church community that I was looking for was right here. I was involved with another church, and I would go there, and that was a community that I was looking for, and things just started to fall into place. And I began to realize that once I gave up my resistance, this was my there. This was beginning to feel like my there. This is where God wanted me to be, but everything wasn't working, resolved. I didn't have all the things I thought that I needed. So I needed to go back to California and come back to Phoenix and do that, that straddling the fence, having one foot in both places. And then finally, I decided to just come here and be here. And then the next thing that was happening was that I came to visit Creative Living Fellowship one Sunday. And I really liked it, but I went back to the other place where I had been going because I was more familiar with a church that was not an independent church, a community that was not an independent community. And then I would come back to Creative Living Fellowship, and then I would go back to the other place. And finally, I just took a deep breath and took a deep dive and followed the guidance that I was receiving to come to CLF and to be a member of CLF and to be a part of this community. All of these things were a part of God's plan for my life. All of these things were part of God's plan for how my life was to play out, because God always knows exactly how it wants to show up as each one of us. God always already knows exactly how it wants to be us, to be each one of us individually. God already knows all this. God already knows the blessings that are in store for us, where we are going. Not where we are, but where we are going. That's why that place called there is always awaiting us, and we are being guided to that place called there. I'm thinking of football. In football, I don't know a lot about football, and I know that if my sisters are watching, they're cringing because I'm mentioning football right now. But in a football game, I've always been amazed at when the quarterback is throwing the ball to a receiver. He never throws it to where the receiver is. He throws it to where the receiver is going to be. And then all of a sudden, out of no place, the receiver's right there and the ball is right there. That's God's provision and our needs being met. That's what I was talking about. But if you're watching the football game, it's just amazing. The receiver's over here and the quarterback throws the ball over there. That's how God does with blessings for us. When there's a place called there, when we are not in the place where we're supposed to be, and we are being guided and directed to go to that place where we're supposed to be, if we just head to that place, when we get there, the blessings that God has for us, the good that is ours will be there when we get there. But we have to be willing to go there. We have to be willing to know that this place called there for us is our own unique individual place, and we have to say yes to it. We have to say yes to it rather than sometimes our usual response is, well, why? I'm comfortable here. I'm happy here. Things are working out just fine here. So why do I have to go there? And as I said, it doesn't always have to be a physical move, but a change in consciousness, a shift in the way we do things, a shift in the way that we look at the world, the way that we think about things, a deepening in our spiritual practice. Even if we are really, really, really deep in spiritual practice, we may have to do something more, something different, open up even more. There may be a change in the way that we deal in our relationships. The place called there may mean sobriety. A place called there may mean physical health. A place called there can mean so many things, because it is our own unique, it's according to our own uniqueness. And God knows where that place is for each one of us. And so what we have to do as we walk through this time in our lives is to trust God and to follow the directions that we're getting, follow the signs all along the way, and to know that God doesn't always show us everything at once. God does not always show us everything at once. And why on earth are we going to be upset about the fact that we don't know what's going to happen way down the road when we're not doing what's before us to do right here and right now? If we're not doing what's before us to do right now, then why are we concerned about what's going to happen next week or the next month or the next year? Do what is before us to do. Take one step, the step that's before you. And when that step is taken, the next step will be revealed. And the next step will be revealed. And the next step will be revealed. And knowing that God is with us every step of the way. God is with us every step of the way. Every step of the way, we're being guided, we're being directed every step of the way. And when we are doing our prayer work and we are praying for the highest and best for all concerned, and we are praying for divine right action, and we are praying for divine guidance, then what on earth do we have to question? And why on earth are we questioning? Because if we are praying trusting that the answer is already there. We're praying, trusting that the answer is already there. And so what we have to do is know that what's showing up before me, and when I do this is before me, the next step will be revealed to me. And I don't have to say, well, how am I going to do this? Well, when is this going to happen? Well, how is that going to happen? None of that is important. The important thing is to know that I am at one with the one. I'm at one with the only thing that is. I'm at one with that God presence. And that God presence is always within me, always guiding me, always directing me, always showing me the way. What I have to do is be willing to follow the way that is being shown to me, be willing to trust that which is being revealed to me, being willing to trust the guidance that I'm receiving, and more importantly, being willing to release my idea of how things should be done. Being willing to release my idea of what things should look like, being willing to release my attachment to the outcome, being willing to let my agenda go, and just allow God's plan to work through me, as me. That's where we have to be in order to get to our place called there. And when we get to our place called there, everything that we need is provided. Everything that we need is provided. Everything that we need is provided. And that's all we need to do is put one foot in front of the other. I had an opportunity to see how this worked as I see it all the time, but with regard to our community, when our church building was sold. Initially, selling a church seemed like a huge thing to do, and it was a huge thing to do, something I had never done before, something I had never been involved with before. However, God knew exactly what needed to be done, knew exactly how it was supposed to be done, knew exactly what the steps were to put together a sale, to put together a move as massive as that move seemed to us. And all we need to do is to be available, be open to pray for guidance, and then be willing to follow the guidance. And every step of the way, there was guidance. Every step of the way. Sometimes in meditation, it would come through, do this today, do this today, do this next, do this next. There was guidance every step of the way. And I didn't realize how much guidance there was until the last day we were on the property. As I was driving home, I just had a flashback of all the times that there was a message, there was a nudge, there was a whisper, there was a guidance. There was something being shown, something being told by that inner voice, by that inner knowing. Like, yes, do this. Yes, do that. Yes, go here. Yes, call this person. Everything we need to know is already known in the mind of God. Everything we need to do is a done deal in the mind of God. All we need to do is open up and say, yes, I'm willing to go to my place called there. I'm willing to be there. I'm willing to be there. And as I'm there, I know that all the blessings that are mine, all of the gifts that are mine, all of the healing that is supposed to happen for me is right here. That perfect partner that I've been looking for, I've been searching for, I've been waiting for is there. If that perfect partner is not here, it must be there. If that perfect job, if that perfect home, if that perfect healing, if whatever it is that we are seeking, if whatever it is that we are wanting, whatever it is that we are desiring, if we're not experiencing it right now, then open up to being there, wherever there is, and allowing God to show us where there is. And so I'm inviting you today to really be that running back and head off to where you're going. When you're getting that message that it's time to go to the next place, head out there, because when you get there, that ball's going to be there. That ball's going to be there. You just keep running, and when you get to where you're supposed to be, the ball will be there. The ball will be there. Everything that we need is already provided, and so that's what we have to be willing to do as we walk through this time. As we walk through this time, and as I was talking about last week, was being willing to live in the not know. No, we don't know. We don't know how it's going to work. We don't know how it's going to look. We don't know how it's going to feel. We don't know how we're going to do it. We don't know any of that. So what? So what? So what? If you did know, what would you do? What would you do differently if you did know how it was going to work? If you did know what was going to happen, what would you do then? Except block it, maybe. Except be afraid of it, maybe. Whatever the case may be. So just step up into the not know. Just step and know that God's always got our back. Know that we're never stepping out into empty space. Knowing that when we step out what seems like into thin air, that there's that step underneath. There's that step right here that we step out on. That we step out on. We're not going to be like the cartoon characters who step off the cliff and then when they look down, they fall. It's like when we step out, God is right there. God is right there. God is right there to catch us. God is right there to hold us up. God is right there to lift us up. And so that's what we need to do. We need to be willing to take this walk of faith, to take this walk of trust, to take this walk to our place called there. To know that there is that place for each one of us, that there is that place for each one of us, and to be willing to allow God to show us that place, be willing to allow God to bring us to that place, be willing to follow the direction that we're getting. Ernest Holmes says, only to the degree that we are willing to follow that and obey the spirit within us, can we be really successful in our lives. Only to the degree that we're willing to follow and obey what we're getting from the spirit within us. Can we be really successful in our lives? We have to be willing to follow and obey the guidance that we're getting. We have to be willing to do that. And so I'm asking you today, where's your there? And I'm asking you to ask yourself that question. Are you in your there right now? Are you willing to follow the guidance that you're getting right now? Are you willing, are you getting that little nudge that there's something different that you need to do? Are you getting a little nudge? There's a different place you need to be. Are you getting a nudge? There's a different relationship to be in. Are you getting a nudge? There's a different home to be in, a different job to be in. Are you getting a nudge? There's better self-care that you need to be taking. Are you getting a nudge about anything that you need to do different? Because as you get that nudge, at whatever it is you're being told to do differently, is you're there. And again, we're not looking necessarily at a physical place, and it could be a physical place because some of those things may require us to be in a physical place. And so I invite you today to really ask that question. Where's my there? Am I willing to go there? You know, there's an expression, a slang expression, I don't want to go there. Well, am I willing to go there? Am I willing to go there? Am I willing to be there? And then, you know, when you get there, you start to see all kinds of things. Answered prayer is there. Answered prayer is there. So am I willing to have answered prayer in my life? Or am I willing to, do I just want to pray for it? and focus on what I don't have, focus on what I'm not experiencing, and then whine about it and cry about it and carry on like that? Or am I willing to have all the good that is already mine? Am I willing to have all the abundance, whatever that may look like? Because, you know, as the treatment for supply says, all that the Father hath is mine. I have abundance because I am abundance. All that the Father hath is mine. And so if all that the Father hath is mine, I have to be what the Father wants me to be in order to have that which is mine. And so that's where there is. And so I'm inviting you to step out on faith. I'm inviting you to trust divine timing. Because, you know, once we get there, everything is not going to be perfect. It's not going to be the land of milk and honey. There would still be human challenges. There'll still be things that come up. There'll still be problems that happen. There'll still be challenges. There'll things still be places that we have to go, things that we have to learn. All that kinds of, I can say it. All those kinds of things come up. The things that we have, problems that we're having, issues that we're having now, here, we may have there also. But God is there also. God is there also. So all we need to do is just go there, and then we deal with what's there once we get there. But there are signs along the way once we get there of knowing this is my right place. This is where I'm supposed to be. When I moved to Phoenix, when I finally got here, it didn't take me but 90 days, but it seemed like a long time. But when I finally got here, I was driving. I moved into the same complex where my daughter lived, and I was driving down what I call the little avenue in the complex, and it dawned on me that for years I had been teaching a 4T prosperity class, and there's an exercise in the class where you visualize being in a village and different things, and for years I had been teaching that class. Whenever I do that visualization, a village would come up. A particular village would come up in my mind, and I didn't know where it was. I didn't even think about it until I was driving down the little avenue in our complex one day. And all of a sudden it dawned on me, this is the village I had been seeing in my meditation for years that I was doing that class. Every time I did that visualization, that avenue popped up. And I had no idea where it was. And I had been living there for a little while before I recognized one day as I was driving through, it's like, oh my gosh, this is the avenue. This is the village, what I thought was a village that kept popping up in my visualization all those years ago, all these years. And here I am. This has to be my there. This has to be my there. And then of course our there changes, because once we are getting comfortable, it just seems that there's that little nudge to say, okay, time to go. Okay, time to do something different. Okay, time to grow. Okay, time to expand. Because, God is expansive. God is always about more and more and more. And so the minute we get comfortable, it's like, okay, time to make a change. Okay, time to grow, time to expand. And then what we want to do sometimes is say, oh, do I have to? Oh, no. Yes, we have to. Because that's what life is about. It's about growing. It's about expanding. It's about evolving. It's about becoming. It's about becoming. And that's what that place called there is about. It's about becoming all that we were created to be. Becoming all that we were created to be. Becoming all that we were created to be. And each time we do that, we are expanding. We are growing. We are expressing more and more God. The more we open up and the more we allow God to express through each one of us. And so when we keep in mind that we are made in the image and likeness out of God itself, and God knows exactly how He wants to express to us, we have to make sure that we're that opening through which it can express. That's what we have to make sure that we do. And so I invite you today to be willing to go there. Be willing to go there. And you can ask that question that the kids ask, are we there yet? When you got kids in the car, are we there yet? You can be willing to ask that question of yourself. Are we there yet? Am I there yet? Where is my there? Am I willing to go there? Am I willing to let go of everything that needs to be let go so that I can be there, so that I can receive all the good that is mine, so that I can receive all the blessings, so that I can be that place and space through which God expresses fully and completely. Let's take a breath. Let's take a breath and just think about that place called there. Where is that place for you? Is this your there, right where you are right now? Is this your there? Where is your there? Are you being nudged to go there? These are questions that I invite you to entertain this week. These are questions that I invite you to entertain throughout this time, and to be willing to listen to the answers, and be willing to follow the guidance that comes, and be willing to trust God more than you trust anything or anyone or any fear that pops up. Because sometimes fear sounds really real. You know, I guess that's why they call it false evidence appearing real. But, you know, be willing to trust God more than that fear voice, more than that holding on voice, more than that, oh, I don't want to change voice, more than any of that. Being willing to trust God more than anything. And then watch how our lives expand and develop in ways that we cannot even imagine in that place called there. Be willing to go there. So let's take a breath as we just move into prayer in this moment. Just moving into that place of knowing absolutely that God is. In that place of recognizing that there is but one power, there is but one presence, there is but one life, there is but one mind, there is but one breath, there is but one activity. And that one I choose to call God, but by any other name, it is the source of our being. It is my life. It is the life of each one of us here this day. And so it is from this place of knowing, this place of oneness, that I speak the word for us this day. Just knowing that God is always right where we are, and that we are always guided, we're always directed, we're always lifted up, we're always protected everywhere we go, in everything that we do. God is. Whether we are here or there, God is. And so I'm speaking a word of willingness for each one of us to go there, to be open, to be expansive, to be willing to allow God to express fully and completely in and through and as our lives. And as we do this, healing is happening in every space and every place within our beingness. In our body temples, the healing is happening in that every organ, cell, tissue, function of our body is responding to that radiant healing presence of God. In our bodies of affairs, everything is being made new, as God is in the midst of every situation, every circumstance. And we don't have to worry about how it's going to work out, whether it's going to work out, or any of that. But God is the answer and the solution to everything, to everything. So I know that as we walk forward, God goes before us, making straight our way in all ways and all things. God is guiding and directing us every step of the way. Divine right action is taking place in every aspect of our lives. Every aspect of our lives, right action is taking place. This is a truth that I know. This is a truth that I know, that right action and the living spirit of love is taking place everywhere. And so I know that we can release fear and doubt and anxiety and all that stuff that would hold us back, anything that would hold back. And we open ourselves up to faith and trust and love and peace and harmony and joy. The blessings, the gifts of the Spirit that are always right where we are. Always right where we are. Always right where we are. Trusting God more than anything. I speak a special word of blessing for our government officials who are guiding and directing and following the guidance that they are receiving, to operate and to work for the highest good of all concerned, because we are all a part of that one life, that one power, that one presence that works through them as God works through each one of us. And all things are made new. There's unity happening. Separation falls away. And that one power reigns supreme. And it's out picturing everywhere in every life. Healing is happening everywhere. I know indeed that all is well. I pause momentarily so that you may speak the names of anyone you'd like held in prayer. You may speak their names silently or loud, and you may speak them now. So for all those whose names were spoken here this day, I know that God is. I know that God is. God is in the midst of every situation. God is in the midst of every circumstance. God is in the midst of every broken heart. God is in the midst of every apparent loss. God is in the midst of grieving. God is in the midst of every apparent illness. God is in the midst of everything. That healing, loving presence of God is everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. The Spirit goes out to anyone on this planet needing a prayer this day, knowing that God is everywhere present, everywhere present. And despite any appearances, God is everywhere present. And so I simply say thank you, Father, Mother God, for the word spoken here this day. Thank you for the perfect manifestation of this word spoken here this day. Thank you for the perfect unfolding with ease and with grace of everything. I know indeed that all is well, for I know absolutely that all is God. And I simply allow it to be. And so it is.
Thank you, Reverend Sherry, for that very inspiring talk today and the powerful prayer. And now is the time to participate in the divine law of giving and receiving by giving of our tithes and offering to CLF. You can click on the donate link on our website or in the comments on Zoom, Facebook, and YouTube. You can also use your smartphone to text to give. The phone number is 844-941-4360. Whichever method you choose to use, we truly appreciate your continued financial support of CLF. And now, let us repeat our offering blessing. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God, and so it is. And now it's my pleasure to welcome back Kirsten Plambeck with our offering song.
Today, it all begins. I'm seeing my life for the very first time through a different lens. Yesterday, I didn't understand. Driving 35 with a rocket inside, didn't know what I had. While I've been waiting to live, my life's been waiting on me. I'm gonna run, yo, I'm gonna fly. I'm gonna know what it means to live, not just be alive. The world's gonna hear, 'cause I'm gonna shout, and I will be dancing with circumstances, drive the music out. Say I won't. Not enough is what I've been told, but it must be a lie, 'cause the spirit inside says I'm so much more. So let them say what they want. Oh, I'm ready to try. I'm gonna run, no, I'm gonna fly. I'm gonna know what it means to live, not just be alive. The world's gonna hear, 'cause I'm gonna shout, and I will be dancing with circumstances, driving the music out. See, I won't. See, I won't. See, I won't. Oh, see, I won't. I can do all things with God, who gives me strength. So keep on saying I won't, and I'll keep proving you wrong.
Thank you, Kirsten, for that. That was awesome. Between that and Reverend Sherry's talk, I feel like going out and dancing in the streets right now. But before I do that, let's do announcements. Let's take a breath. Do you experience anxiety, depression, or have trouble focusing? Meditation is a great practice that benefits not only your emotional and physical well-being, it also can deepen your connection to the divine. Join us for midday meditation to start or support your existing meditation practice. Midday meditation is at noon, Monday through Friday. We also hold a 20-minute pre-service meditation on Sundays at 9:35 a.m. Join us for any of these meditations through our Facebook and YouTube live streams. Join Reverend Jorge every Monday evening to explore spiritual practices that apply Sunday messages to the lessons and experiences of your day-to-day life. By increasing our practices, we open up to see beyond our boundaries and self-interest and transform our consciousness to enjoy the union with God and to live from that union. You can participate in Monday practice with Reverend Jorge through our Facebook and YouTube live streams at 6:30 p.m. If you're unable to make our live streams, whether it's Sunday service, midday meditation, or Monday practice with Reverend Jorge, you can always watch them on your own schedule through our archives on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Get your community care and connection on with your CLF family and Reverend Sherry every Tuesday as she hosts a Zoom meeting at 6:30 p.m. This week, Reverend Sherry will be leading Conscious Conversation. We look forward to seeing you on Tuesday. Reverend Sherry will be leading our monthly community visioning on Sunday, August 21st at 11:30 a.m. You're invited and encouraged to be part of this sacred practice of opening up and making ourselves available to catch God's vision for creative living fellowship. Remember that God's vision for CLF can only be expressed through us, so join us for this very special community event.
Hi there, I'm Reverend Cheryl McCreary, the creator and facilitator of Manifest More Money. You know, so many of our New Thought communities, our members are struggling right now about money. They're feeling anxiety and fear and powerlessness with the news and the recession, the inflation, all that stuff. It's very easy to forget the truth. The truth is we live in an abundant universe. The truth is unlimited abundance is our divine birthright. It's time to heal our relationship with money. If that's work that you want to do, I invite you to join me in the online course, Manifest More Money. We'll be meeting on 5 Thursdays from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. Pacific time, and we will do a deep dive into spiritual practice and practical actions to help you bust through your money set point, to help you release money blocks and limitations, to change your story into a story of money abundance and flow, and to move into divine right relationship with money. If that sounds like work you want to do, we're going to start off on September 1st. So join me. And the great thing is your center has its own unique registration link. So use that link and that link only, because when you register, 50% of your fee goes back to your center. So we're profit sharing with your center. If you want to join me in Manifest More Money, I look forward to seeing you on September 1st. See you then.
Again, Manifest More Money meets on Zoom on Thursday, September 1st through the 29th from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. Our Sunday prayer room is available to you after service today. Our practitioners are available for a one-on-one prayer with you in private breakout rooms, or you can reach one of our on-call practitioners. The list can be found in the comments on our website under prayer. And you can also email a prayer request to prayer@creativelivingfellowship.com. Upon receipt, our practitioners will pray over your request for 30 days. Remember, you don't need to walk around with a heavy heart. Our practitioners are waiting for the opportunity to serve you in prayer now, today. And after service, we have Sunday fellowship. Join us in Zoom and hang out, discuss the service, what's on your mind or heart, and connect with your CLF family. If you're in Zoom with us now, just stay here. And if not, then you can join us at the end of service. You can find the links for fellowship and all of our other activities on our website under events, under our Facebook events, or in your weekly newsletter. Well, that is it for today's announcements. It is now back to Reverend Sherry.
Thank you so much, Nicole, for the announcements. And I'd also like to thank our musical inspiration today, Kirsten Plambeck. I always say her name wrong, but Kirsten, you know I love you. And I'm glad that you're here with us and look forward to having you back with us real soon. I just have a couple of reminders, my usual reminders. And the first one is always the treatment for supply, which is our community prayer. And I invite you to use it. It works. Use it twice a day. It works. It really works. Page 262 of the Science of Mind textbook is where it can be found if you don't already know that. And of course, the last thing that I'd like to remind you of today is the idea of connecting with each other. Continue to do so. We will be going back in person. I don't know if you got my update letter that came out over the weekend. Just letting you know that we are going to be going back in person as soon as possible because we're in the process of looking for space now, and the perfect location for us is about to reveal itself. And I look forward to seeing you all. Meanwhile, continue to text and email and telephone calls and even get together in person if that's what you're doing now, just to continue to connect with each other as a community. I love connecting with you here. I'm glad that you're here with us. I love you. I miss you. Can't wait to see you. Thank you for being here today. I look forward to seeing you again real soon. Take good care. Now, here's our not our opening song, our closing song. We're getting out of here. I release and let go. Take good care. God bless.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm all